Have you ever noticed that your body can be sitting still while your mind feels like it is running all day? You wake up, check your phone, answer a few messages, think about yesterday, worry about tomorrow, and suddenly the day is already started. Even when you finally lie down at night, your mind may still be working. Maybe you're not physically exhausted. Maybe you are mentally exhausted. There is a difference. Sometimes what we need is not another distraction, another video, or another piece of advice. Sometimes we simply need to create a little space inside our minds. And that's what we're going to explore today. These simple ideas are not about escaping your responsibilities or pretending that life has no problems. They're about learning how to meet your life with a calmer mind. And if you're learning English, there's another benefit. As you listen, you can practice natural, everyday English without feeling like you're sitting in a classroom. So, take a slow breath, get comfortable, and let's begin. The first step is learning how to become comfortable with silence. Most of us rarely experience true silence anymore. There's usually a phone nearby, music in the background, a television playing, or some new information waiting for our attention. At first, silence can feel strange. You may sit quietly for a minute and suddenly notice how many thoughts are moving through your head. You remember something you said yesterday, you think about an unfinished task, you wonder what someone meant by a message. That doesn't mean silence is making you anxious. It means you're finally noticing what was already there. Think of your mind as a room that has been noisy for a very long time. When the noise stops, the room may not feel peaceful immediately. It may feel uncomfortable because you can finally hear yourself. Give it time. Try sitting somewhere quiet for 5 or 10 minutes. Put your phone away. Do not try to solve anything. Do not force yourself to stop thinking. Simply sit and breathe. If a thought appears, notice it and let it pass. You do not have to follow every thought your mind produces. This is an important skill because your thoughts are not commands. They're simply thoughts. And the more often you give your mind a few quiet moments, the easier it can become to recognize the difference between thinking about a problem and actually solving one. The second step is to come back to the present. A surprising amount of stress comes from living somewhere other than the moment you're actually in. Your body may be sitting at the table, but your mind is replaying an old conversation. Or perhaps you're walking outside while imagining everything that could go wrong tomorrow. The past has already happened. The future has not happened yet. But this moment is real. You can practice this with something very ordinary. When you drink water, just drink the water. Notice its temperature. Feel the glass in your hand. Take your time. When you walk, notice your steps. When you wash your hands, notice the water and the movement of your fingers. These small moments may seem unimportant, but they teach your attention to stay where your life is actually happening.
At first, your mind will wander. That is normal. The goal is not to keep your mind perfectly empty. The goal is to gently bring it back whenever it leaves. Every time you return to the present, you are practicing control over your attention. And slowly, ordinary moments begin to feel different. You realize that peace does not always require a perfect vacation, a new life, or a solution to every problem. Sometimes, peace begins with simply being where you are. The third step is learning to release what you cannot change. Many people carry old conversations, past mistakes, broken relationships, and painful memories long after the moment has passed. You may tell yourself that you are thinking about these things because you are trying to understand them, but sometimes you are simply reopening the same wound. Letting go does not mean saying that something was acceptable. It does not mean forgetting what happened, and it does not mean allowing someone who hurt you to hurt you again. It means deciding that the past will no longer occupy all of your attention. Ask yourself one simple question. Is there anything I can do about this today? If the answer is yes, take one useful action. If the answer is no, give yourself permission to stop carrying it for a while. You cannot change yesterday by thinking about it another 1,000 times. You can only decide what you will do with today. And sometimes the most peaceful decision is simply to say, "That happened, I learned from it. Now I am ready to move forward." The fourth step is accepting that other people will not always behave the way you want. This can be difficult because expectations are powerful. We expect people to understand us. We expect them to communicate clearly, keep their promises, apologize when they are wrong, and treat us fairly. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they will not. If your peace depends on everyone behaving perfectly, you have given your peace away. Acceptance does not mean approving of bad behavior. It means recognizing reality before deciding what to do about it. You can set boundaries. You can leave unhealthy situations. You can disagree, but you do not have to spend hours arguing with someone inside your head after the real conversation is already over. When another person's behavior upsets you, pause and ask, "Is this something I can control?" If it is not, bring your attention back to what you can control: your words, your actions, your boundaries, and your response. That shift can save you a surprising amount of mental energy. And sometimes protecting your peace simply means refusing to fight battles that were never yours to fight.
Another important part of a calmer mind is learning how to breathe with awareness. You breathe every day without thinking about it. But when you are worried or under pressure, your breathing can become faster and more shallow. So the next time you notice yourself becoming tense, pause for a moment. Take a comfortable breath in. Then breathe out slowly. You do not need to make it complicated. Simply give your breathing a little more attention than usual. A slow, comfortable exhale can become a useful signal that it is time to settle down. You can use this before going to sleep, before an important conversation, or whenever you notice that your thoughts are becoming difficult to manage. Your breath is always with you. You do not need an app, special equipment, or a quiet room. Sometimes the simplest tools are the ones we forget to use. Another helpful practice is getting to know yourself better. We spend a great deal of time learning about other people. We know what our friends like, we know what people online are doing, we know what is popular and what everyone is talking about. But how often do you stop and ask yourself what you actually want? What makes you feel peaceful? What kind of activities give you energy? What situations leave you feeling drained? What are you doing because you genuinely want to do it, and what are you doing simply because you want other people to approve of you? These questions do not have to be answered immediately. You can write them in a notebook and return to them when you have time. Writing can help because thoughts that feel confusing inside your head often become clearer when you see them on paper. You may discover that some of your stress comes from trying to live according to expectations that were never really yours. You do not have to become a completely different person. You simply need to become more honest with yourself. The more clearly you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to make decisions that fit your values and your real life. Now, look at your environment. Sometimes your surroundings can add more mental pressure than you realize. A crowded desk, clothes lying everywhere, dozens of unused apps, hundreds of unread messages, or a room filled with things you no longer need can create a constant feeling that something is unfinished. You do not need to clean your entire home today. Start small. Choose one drawer, one shelf, one corner of your desk, or perhaps one folder on your phone. Remove what you no longer need and organize what remains.
A small amount of order can make a space feel easier to live in, and when your surroundings become simpler, it may become easier for your attention to settle too. The goal is not to create a perfect home. The goal is to remove unnecessary sources of mental noise. Another skill is learning how to remain calm when life does not cooperate. Someone may speak rudely to you. A meeting may be delayed. Your internet may stop working. A plan may fail. Someone may misunderstand you. These situations are frustrating, but frustration does not have to decide what you do next. Before reacting, give yourself a moment. Ask, do I need to respond right now? Will reacting strongly improve this situation? What part of this can I actually control? That small pause can create a space between what happens and how you respond. And that space is valuable. You may not be able to control the situation, but you can often control what you do with the next 30 seconds. You can lower your voice, you can take a breath, you can wait, you can choose better words. That is a form of freedom. You are not required to react to every problem at the same speed that it arrives. You can slow down. In fact, slowing down may be one of the simplest ways to reduce daily stress.
Modern life often rewards speed. We answer messages quickly. We eat quickly. We move from one video to another. We want immediate results. We want quick success. But your mind does not always benefit from moving faster. Try doing one ordinary activity more slowly today. Eat without rushing. Take a walk without trying to reach the destination as quickly as possible. Drink your morning coffee without scrolling through your phone. Listen to someone without preparing your answer while they are speaking. You may notice details that you normally miss. Slowing down does not mean becoming unproductive. It means giving your attention enough space to actually experience what you are doing. And while you are learning to slow down, pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Your inner voice matters. If you constantly tell yourself that you are stupid, lazy, unsuccessful, or incapable, those words can become part of the way you see yourself. You do not need to pretend that everything is perfect. Instead, try speaking to yourself honestly but kindly. Instead of saying, "I always fail," you can say, "This did not work, but I can learn from it." Instead of saying, "I am terrible at this," say, "I am still learning." Instead of saying, "I should have known better," say, "I know more now because I experienced it." There is strength in that kind of language. You can take responsibility for your mistakes without attacking yourself. You can improve without hating the person who is trying to improve. And remember, you do not have to do everything at once. Multitasking may feel productive, but constantly switching your attention can leave you mentally exhausted. Try giving one task your full attention. If you're eating, eat. If you're reading, read. If you're talking to someone, listen. If you're working, work. Put unnecessary notifications aside for a while. When you finish one thing, move to the next. Your mind often feels calmer when it does not have to remember 10 unfinished tasks at the same time. Another thing worth protecting is what you allow into your mind through your screen. Your phone gives you access to an enormous amount of information every day. Some of it is useful, some of it is entertaining, and some of it simply makes you anxious, angry, jealous, or overwhelmed. Pay attention to how you feel after scrolling. Do you feel informed and refreshed, or do you feel tense and dissatisfied? You do not have to watch everything that appears in front of you. Unfollow accounts that constantly make you feel negative. Turn off notifications that are not important. Take breaks from social media. Spend some time looking at things that do not demand anything from you. A tree moving in the wind, the evening sky,
a quiet street, rain against a window. Simple things can remind your attention that the world is larger than a screen. And sometimes the best way to reconnect with yourself is to disconnect for a while. You do not need to be available every minute of every day. Put your phone away during a meal. Leave it in another room for a short period. Take a walk without checking messages. Give yourself a little time when nobody can reach you immediately. At first, you may feel uncomfortable. You may wonder what you are missing. But eventually, you may notice something important. The world continues, and you begin to hear your own thoughts again. Finally, learn to release resentment. Some painful experiences stay in our minds for a long time because we keep returning to them. We remember what someone said. We imagine what we should have said. We replay the situation. We wish the other person understood how much they hurt us. But replaying the event does not change the event. Forgiveness does not mean pretending that the hurt never happened. It means deciding that you do not want to spend every new day carrying yesterday's anger. You can remember a lesson without carrying the pain forever. You can create distance from someone without wishing them harm. You can accept that an apology may never come and still choose to move forward. Your peace does not have to wait for another person to change. And perhaps the deepest lesson is this: life will not always happen according to your plans. Some days will be easy. Other days will be disappointing. People will make mistakes. You will make mistakes. Plans will change. Things you hoped for may not happen. Peace does not come from creating a life where nothing goes wrong. It comes from becoming better at meeting life as it is. When something difficult happens, you can ask, what is happening right now? What can I learn from this? What can I do next? Those questions bring you back from endless resistance to useful action. You do not need to love every part of your life. You do not need to pretend that pain is pleasant. You simply need to stop fighting every reality that you cannot change. There will always be something unfinished. There will always be another problem to solve. There will always be another message, another task, another responsibility waiting for you. So give yourself permission to rest before everything is perfect. Take a breath. Put the phone down. Look around you. Come back to this moment. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to make mistakes. And you are allowed to begin again. If today's practice gave you even a few quiet minutes, carry that feeling with you. You do not have to change your entire life tonight. Start with one small habit, one quiet moment, one conscious breath, one less unnecessary reaction, one kinder sentence to yourself. Small changes can become meaningful when you repeat them. Thank you for spending this time learning and listening. Keep practicing your English, but also keep giving your mind the space it needs. Take care of yourself, stay present, and remember that peace is not something you always have to search for somewhere far away. Sometimes it begins with the next breath and the next quiet moment.